Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're just gonna be chilling out, doing some mythics, mythic pluses, and all that good stuff. We're gonna be talking about what I like about the mythic pluses and the good times I've been having. Talking about some hype for 7.2. Oh yeah. So yeah, mythic pluses they're a lot of fun. Honestly, I didn't really give them much thought when they were first a thing when I was first eligible to do them. Like, oh yeah, mythic, but harder, meh. But they're actually a lot of fun, and obviously the rewards are higher, which is never a bad thing. And some people talking about doing like mythic, like double digits, like 10, 12s, whatever. And I'm like, shit. Because like the highest mythic I've done is a 7. I set foot in Halls of Valor plus 8, didn't go well. Um, yeah, and like I'm wanting to do better, but I've done a bunch of mythic 7s, and like the difference between 7 and 8 is actually pretty noticeable. I didn't think the difference between 1 and 1 up would be a lot, but it's actually a really big difference. Like that's like a defining point between 7 and 8. But it is really enjoyable because you're against the clock. You got various mechanics you got to deal with. Like today we've got the rage and the necrotic, which is never fun. And it's crazy. Some groups like it'll only be like a mythic plus 5 or 6. You know, nothing crazy. And it'll be like item level 905 require speed running for 3 chesting. And I get it. You want higher item levels to get the 3 chests, but to require like fucking Suramar, Nighthold, normal, and heroic gear to even set foot in the Mythic Plus. It's kind of retarded in my opinion, but hey, that's been around since the start. There's always been a bunch of people who made it required for their groups to be stupid overgeared for stuff they didn't have to be overgeared for. But again, they want 3 chests, so of course you're gonna, want to be overgeared for that. Also, I'm glad to hear that in 7.2 they're gonna be scaling everything up, to keep everything relevant. That's always good. Because in the past they would, create dungeons that kind of killed older dungeons in terms of relevance because of being added later on in a patch and having higher rewards. Now they're scaling everything up. Even the Mythic Pluses are being scaled up. I believe they said a Mythic 3 will now feel like a Mythic 7 now will feel like a Mythic 3. And 7.2, I think that's what they said. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, going back to the Broken Isles, it was being prepared to the Isle of Quel Danas, which is obviously really cool. Isle of Quel Danas was a really, really good thing in my opinion. A lot of people liked it. Yeah, pardon me, I'm a little bit congested, so you can probably hear that in my voice. Do apologize for that. And but the biggest thing of all in 7.2 is the Tomb of Sargeras. I've been waiting and hoping for that for a very long time. I am a Warcraft 3 fanboy. I have no shame in admitting it. And in the Frozen Throne expansion, when we went to the Tomb of Sargeras and the Broken Isles with Maiev, I was like gushing and splooshing all over my screen. It was awesome. And there's a guy that you meet. It's like a side quest in that little campaign. His name is Drakthul. He's a warlock that kind of tells you the tale about Gul'dan and the Shadow Council and what they did there and whatnot. And if you jump off of Dalaran into the Great Sea and go into the Broken Shore, you can actually find Drakthul if you explore enough. He's in like this little camp area, and he's all like, I've been dealing with demons since you were in swaddling clothes or something. So pretty much like, since you're a baby, I've been dealing with demons and shit. Maybe that's warlock specific, I don't know. But like, I thought that was really cool that they include that little detail. He's still just a hermit, an old orc just kind of hanging around. I nerded out when I saw that. It was really cool. Yeah, but speaking of nerd out moments, going back to 7.1, Karazhan. Holy shit, I am still gushing over Karazhan. I've done it a few times, and I find myself actually looking forward to a reset day again, which I never used to do. Well, not never, but it's been a while since I looked forward to reset. And like, I just want to run Karazhan every reset, which I think is a testament to how amazing Karazhan is. How much of a success Return to Karazhan was. They tickled the nostalgia, but they didn't just make it a pure rehash, and old Kara is still around, so it's not gone. Because that would have been an outrage if they did that. I think they learned that the hard way with like UBRS and them. But yeah, Karazhan is easily one of the best 5-mans ever made. I will jump on that bandwagon any day. I don't care because I think it's true. And hopefully the what's the new dungeon 7.2 called? Court, what was it? Court of Eternal Starlight? I don't know. I forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. The patch dungeon 7.2. That was like an old Temple of Elune. Really looking forward to that. Because do you miss patch dungeons? So do we. I loved that. The smug. I loved it. But again, scaling technology is going to be really helpful there. I'm really looking forward to having relevant patch dungeons and having all the previous dungeons still be relevant. And of course, the Mythic Pluses are still going to work out. Yeah, and like Blackrock Hold is also one of my favorite dungeons in this expansion. The theme is really cool. It's a dark castle. You're ascending many layers of it. You know, looking through the legacy of Cratalis Ravencrest, who was assassinated in the War of the Ancients. Before Broxygar could get to the assassin, he was already dead. I'm a massive lore nerd for any of you who don't know. And it's a really good... I love it. War of the Ancients was awesome. And I love how many, not just nods, but direct references and stuff from War of the Ancients and Warcraft 3. Beware. Or just stories that were told in Warcraft 3 are actually being shown now. I mean, like, certain character developments don't make a ton of sense. Like, Maiev seems to have some holes in her. Giggity. Certain things like, why is Ravencrest back? Oh, because of the Legion. Oh, okay. Like, I don't really care. Like, it's really cool. Like, I'm one of those guys who, I'll confess, I'm not a major RP guy. Like, it doesn't have to make 100% perfect, foolproof sense for me to be on board with it. I mean, the time travel in Worlds of Draenor was yeah. But in Legion, I'm okay with a lot of what's going on. I'm not bothered by. I'm not triggered by the fact that it doesn't make. Not everything makes 100% sense, but it makes enough sense for me. And I'm still enjoying the crap out of it. The second Broken Isles were announced, I was gushing. I loved it, and I still love it. I think the Broken Isles are really, really cool. But for some reason, there's something about the questing on my alts that just makes me want to, like, stick my head in the dryer. I don't know what it is. The questing, I think, is brilliantly designed, really well laid out. An improvement upon Warlords, which was also really well designed. But there's something about it that just seems less alt-friendly. Maybe it takes longer to get to level cap. I think that's what it is. And I like enjoying the questing, but I do eventually want to get to level cap if I'm on an alt, you know. I want to get there quicker than I did on my main, because I enjoy it on my main, which is what I'm on right now, the Destro Lock. And Warlocks had some very mixed love. Pre-patch, during pre-patch, it was all about Affliction. Affliction was beast. You know, 3v1 in PvP, no problem. Then they got nerfed, and then everyone was like, oh, Warlocks, they're broken, they're getting no love, you know. I know, I've heard tales of Warlocks quitting the game, which is a little extreme, but whatever. Because I'm not a competitive, high-end, you know, raider or anything, or PvPer, it didn't bother me too much. I'm like, I'm still viable. I don't get turned down in Mythics. I pull my weight in damage in the dungeons. I don't care. It's a fun class to play. I'm not going to QQ about that, you know, because everyone likes to cry about stuff. It's just human nature, I guess. And, yeah, Destruction's really fun. I was doing some dibble-dabble with Affliction here and there, and Affliction's also fun. It's not entirely I was just attacking that was Havoc. Yeah, I was just attacking the Havoc target. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, pro Warlock right here. Affliction's fun. Demonology's fun. I dibble-dabbled in them, but I am maining Destruction, because that's where all my artifact power is, and that's what I enjoy the most. I like raining green fire from the sky and all that. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Havoc, I just got my second legendary yesterday at the time of recording this. And it's the Ymirjar... It's the legendary cape. And it's the one that targets marked with my Havoc take 8% more damage from single target spells. So, on trash pulls, Keck, and heavy ad fights, that's going to be a very beastly legendary. But I can't equip it for like another 11 days or so because I just haven't been asked to farm the resources to upgrade my class hall. You know, I didn't care about the benefits. I'm like, equip 2 legendaries? I'm never going to get 2 legendaries. What do I give a shit? Let's use these resources on artifact power missions, yo. Never bothered with it. Well, now I gotta bother with it. Yeah, I gotta wait almost 2 weeks, like a week and a half, to equip that second legendary. And when Legion launched, I think even in the pre-patch, when we knew about the legendaries, I'm just like, I'm not going to play the legendary game. I'm not going to try for them. I'm not going to be sad if I don't get them. I'm not going to care at all about legendaries. And now that I have 2, like, now that I have another one, I do want to equip it. I never went out of my way to farm them, but now that I have one, I do want to be able to equip it, because not even the benefits, just it's a 940 item level. The stats, you know, dwarf what I have right now because of that even. And it'll help my item level, even though item level is not something I try to play by all the time. It's something other people and other groups do consider. Yeah, I don't do everything with my guild. They're not the most active. We try to raid 2 nights a week. And we do some Mythic Pluses and stuff in between. But we're not the most active, unfortunately. And, like, I could find another guild that's more active, but I don't have a whole lot more time, you know, than that. Like, I don't want to quit this guild, have there be some shade, join a new guild, and not be able to raid as much as they want to or whatever. And then, oh shit, now I'm out of 2 guilds? No. So I'm staying with these guys. We still raid. So long as I end up in the Nighthold before patch 7.2, I'll be satisfied. Yeah, like, I was talking to my raid leader, who's also our main healer, and this is like the day Nighthold launched, and I'm like, so when are we going into Nighthold? You know, next raid night? At this point, we'd only just cleared Trial of Valor, just to show you how behind we are. And he's like, I can't, I'm not attuned. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're not attuned? Like, you've had months to do the Star Mark quest. I was like, I'm busy, yeah, and he is busy. He's a busy guy. You know, he works nights, he's got a kid, I get it, he's busy. Like, you can log on for raid night, you know, like, we can skip a raid night here or there, you can get attuned, mate. Yeah. Shadow Fury. I love using Shadow Fury. But, apparently only one person needs to be saved for you to be able to enter. Rumor has it. I don't know. I haven't put that into practice. We entered Nighthold a few times, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing Nighthold. Like, oh, we're just gonna clear the trash. We don't have enough people to actually do a run. Like, are you kidding me? And I don't want to pug it because it's a newer raid, and it's either gonna be noobs or people requiring, you know, you to be already geared to just blaze through it, which I get. You know what I mean? It can be a pain in the ass trying to teach people. I completely understand that. But like I want it to be done the first time either with my guildies or with my friends. And I enjoy running things with my guild. I don't want my first, like, I'm not gonna do LFR. I do not do LFR. I don't want my first experience to be an LFR or to just be some random pug. It's not what I want it to be. Yeah, I want to be with my guild or with my friends. You know, I guess I'm kind of old school like that. Yeah, but in terms of teaching newbies, yesterday I actually wanted to run Karazhan, and I did, you know, I listed it in the group finder, and I got one of my tank buddies involved. And in my group, I didn't say must-know fights, you know, I just put required item level 840, which is like a baseline for mythics. And I just listed the group, I'm like, let's go. Oh, fuck. Come on, I never get hit by these. Oh, come on. And, yeah, there is a paladin and a mage. Fuck's sake, really? There's a paladin and a mage who were completely new. They haven't done Karazhan yet. And, like, I didn't know that when they joined. They joined like, hey, like, it's set to 10-man for some reason. I'm like, oh my god, they went through the main entrance. I'm like, they've never been here before. They didn't even know where the entrance is. This is gonna be fun. So I told them wrong entrance maybe, so I left Karazhan. I went outside, I stood on my mount. Ashes of Alar. Hell yeah. And I'm like, it's over here. I'm like, you know, it's over here, just come to me, fly up. And so they did. And yeah, the healer, and it was actually the healer, the pally, and the mage that were new to it. So I'm like, I have to explain Karazhan to 3 new people. This is gonna be pretty fun. And to be honest, it was. Honestly, that was the second most fun I've had in Karazhan. Was when I was teaching new people how to do it. Like we did, like, we wiped like a couple times for boss. Like the first time, they actually learned pretty well the first time. Like with Maiden, they actually, just by me typing, because I didn't have a Discord server, I didn't invite them to anything. I just said in voice chat or in game chat what to do, and they actually did it pretty much right the first time, which is very uncommon in a pug, from what I've seen. Holy shit, my DPS is atrocious. Oh, because I don't have... Oh. because I don't have my Grimoire up. And, wow, these guys are probably going to kick me. And so, like, they actually grassed it pretty quickly within a couple tries. Like, we get it down, it's no problem. And then the healer and the mage have to leave. You know, for whatever reason, they had to go. And, so they go. And let's banish this guy. And I'm like, alright, cool. So I list the group. The paladin has a healer buddy who can join us, which is cool. And so we do that, and then I plug another DPS. So it's an orc shaman who's like geared to the teeth, and his DPS is sick. Like my DPS for that group was really good. I was by far the top deeps in that group. He joined and he buried me in some encounters, but we wiped twice on Shade of Medivh. Only twice, and he just left the group. I'm like, really? Like, this is really good, seeing as half the group is new. And he just left. He's like, fuck it, and he left. But, like, I explained explicitly, do not move on Flame Wreath. Like, you have 3 seconds, it heads up, and the fucking paladin still moved on Flame Wreath. It was an accident. She called herself out on it as soon as she did it. But, you know, we came in the next time, and it was fine. Then there was some poor Inferno placements, and people were trapped in the ice for too long, and then we wiped a few more times, but we did it. It was fine. We got a new Death Knight as Deeps. That worked out well. He was very good. And then my tank buddy actually had to leave. He didn't rage quit or nothing. He legitimately had to leave. Why is my DPS so piss poor? Holy shit. He legitimately had to leave. Yeah, so I don't know why my DPS is so low. And, he had to leave, and then for the Mana Devourer, we pugged the tank. It was a very, very well-geared Blood DK, and we one-shot Mana Devourer, and then we did the chest thing, and that was no problem. We went to the final boss. I explained that really quick, and the pally died, but, you know, that was it. We didn't suffer any more losses. It was absolutely fine, and it was really cool. Like, they got to, it was, because I had a lot of fun. Like, they thanked the people who were new. They thanked me, and they're like, that was really fun. I learned a lot. And, like, it tests your patience, but the pug world isn't all horror stories like you might hear about. And I had a really good time, you know, guiding new people through there, whilst also working with people who are experienced, and more experienced than me, who had been there before. You know, I enjoyed being the leader, like the middleman, making sure everyone worked well together and stuff, made sure no one fought or, you know, started casting blame. And it was a good time, honestly. Second best. The only time that was better was when I went in with mostly my guild and a pugged healer. And that was a really fun time. Because, like, I feel like clearing stuff with your guild is always more fun. It's always more fun clearing shit with people that you know. The talk, the bants are always more fun. It's more genuine, you're a bit more comfortable, you kind of know each other's play style a bit more. Like, I call her my co-raid leader. She's not raid leader by title, but she does a bit more of the organizing. She was our main tank, and we had 2 of our deeps, and then the healer that we pugged, we invited him to her Discord server, and we had a really good time. Like I seriously, like, you make friends. Like, with solid group activity in the group finder, and like when you're patient and stuff, you make friends in the group finder. Like, it's such a good thing. Like, I don't really know how else to put it in words, you know? Like, the Mythic system, this is how you make friends. Like, this is how it happened back in, you know, in like glory days, I use air quotes. Back in the day, like, people made friends, you know, like, if you didn't know somebody already, that's how you made friends. And, you know, if you were with somebody that you never played with before, and then, oh, hey, you're a really good tank, you're a really good healer, you got great deeps, you're a fun guy, and, you know, you pull your weight, whatever, like, this is really cool. I'm gonna add you to my friends list, let's do this together again sometime. Like, that's how it happened, and, like, the fact that that's happening again with, like, the Mythic system and stuff, yeah, I'm really psyched about that. The fact that this is actually a thing that happens now. Oh, I've never had this. I've never had this happen before. I've never had this happen before. Insect swarm. Never had this happen before. Okay, there we go. And I feel like on Mythic, the Dreadlord's Guile and the laser ability moves a whole lot faster on Mythic than on normal or heroic. There's always someone who gets stuck in the sleepy thing. Not me though. Not me though, mate. Yeah, sorry if you can hear my keyboard. It's probably really loud. It's a Chroma Stealth, so it's not as loud as mechanical keys. It's got a softer click sound, but still probably really loud in the mic. Yeah, so in conclusion, I love Mythic Pluses. I love Karazhan. I'm super hyped about Tomb of Sargeras in patch 7.2. Oh my god, 3 chests! We did a +8 and got 3 chests. Awesome. GG team. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. I've already maxed out my weekly soul fragments. Let's see. Is it an upgrade? No, I never get gear upgrades from this shit anymore. Ah, such a shame. It's a Mythic +8. You think I could get decent loot from this, but whatever. Alright, Tomb of Sargeras. I have it looking forward to seeing the Avatar Sargeras. Looking forward to that whole Black Temple type design where you go in underground to the side or whatever. There's Naga, there's demons, and then you face the big bad, Mr. Killjaden himself. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to looking forward to progressing on the Broken Shore. With the factions and the classes and doing all that stuff. It looks really fun. Really looking forward to what Legion's doing. It's easily one of the best expansions that Blizzard's put out. Very happy about it. And I hope everyone watching this enjoys Legion and enjoys everything they're doing. And until you see me again, live well.